Now for charting futures, and we'll want to check in with Abigail Doolittle. And Abigail, you're taking another but opposite trading view look at the precious metals.
You are right about that, Scarlett. We will be taking a look at a view on silver and gold that opposes a view taken last week. But first, let's take a look at these precious metals on the day, because we really have silver surging here. If we take a look at silver futures and gold futures, take a look at gold up 1.2%, not bad, but in the light of silver futures up 4.9%, really being outperformed on the day. Silver having its best day going back to the beginning of September. Not really anything new here happening to drive these precious metals higher. Let's take a look at a year-to-date chart in the terminal, because this is pretty interesting. Going back to January, we see that gold in yellow and silver in white basically were equal to each other, and then gold continued to stay flatlining. Silver actually dipped into negative territory at one point, down more than 5%. And then in June, ahead of the Fed, gold really started to take off. Gold and silver often seen as a hedge against the possibility of inflation and central bank accommodation. We see that gold had huge outperformance by about 10% to silver, and then continued, but not so long ago. Take a look at that outperformance for silver relative to gold, besting it by more than 5%. So a real relay race this year between these two precious metals. Silver winning it right now. To talk more about this, I'd like to bring in Peter Borish from the Quad Group. Thank you so much for joining us.
Always lovely.
Yeah, great to have you here. And so what do you think about this fight between gold and silver?
Well, I think it's over.
You think it's over?
So I think that silver tends to make its moves at the end. And you just talked about the beginning of September, and as you know, silver had that big day, wide range day, closed on the high, boom. Then it had this large pullback.
So you think that silver is due, it's right now popping above that uptrend far more than gold. So you think that silver is really going to kind of consolidate those gains?
Yes, so I think that the high is in. You know, there's always like to say there's a number of old sayings, but you buy the first dip and then you sell the second. So you had this first little pullback in silver. It's all exciting because it's coming one day, another wide range, close on the high. And then it looks like it's going to dip. Now, it's a dangerous market just to be short. You just talked about the relative outperformance of silver to gold. So I think it's an opportune time to get long gold, short silver. Silver is much more economically sensitive. We've seen a slowing down around the world in growth. And gold, of course, has better uncertainty elements to it, you know, through currency policy changes.
No uncertainty right now.
Yeah, no. If going long uncertainty is a good thing, and everybody thinks going long uncertainty is playing the VIX, that's a difficult situation in a market to trade. I think going long uncertainty, being long gold, short silver, is far better. And I just end with sort of, when a market gives you too much time to make a trade, don't make it. And it's given you a lot of time here to sort of say, I want to buy silver, but the move to us is over.
So in terms of silver options, you're talking about selling, taking advantage of this strength, selling calls on silver, and then using those proceeds to buy bearish puts.
Yes, if you wanted to do an outright trade in silver, you take advantage of the volatility. It's one of the few markets, unlike equity, where the premium in the calls is going to be higher relative to the puts, because there's a natural tendency for people to think that the market is going up, or that's their inherent bias. So you take advantage of that, then you use the premium, you buy the put. It's a little bit like a synthetic short futures contract, little safer, and it's a great way to enter the market, but more conservatively, being long gold, short silver is a better way to trade that.